this a next hit beat?
All right, good, beautiful, good looking people. What's up, man? Hope all is well today. Welcome to a different 10-pound segment. This is episode number two, and I'm excited. Thanks for all the great feedback that you guys gave me last week on week number one. For those that are on their very first time logging in with me, look, man, I wanted to give something to our members where we're not just giving a random food plan out and telling you that it's perfect because it's not. I wanted to be able to personally connect with individuals from our boot camps, from our gyms, from our online training, and to be able to help you if you're bold enough to ask for help online. And again, the thing that you may need help with may be the same thing someone else needs help with. So I'm really excited and geeked about the opportunity to connect with you. So on YouTube, I'm not able to see who's actually online. So for those that are online, do me a favor, just comment down below. I want to know who I have on live. And for those that are going to be watching this as a replay, like you're in for a treat today. Today's main topic is the five different things I avoided. So remember, this is 90 days of the last 90 days of 2022. This was my personal experience on me creating a program for us to work out within Mean Green, also for us to have nutrients guidance and how to fuel our body. But again, this is my perspective. This is what I believe. I'm not saying it's my way or the highway. This is just how I won in the last 90 days. So I'm sharing those thoughts with you on my five things that I avoided. But who I have on live, I'm curious. Samaya, what's up? Good to see you on, sis. I know you're probably listening. I don't know if you're going to be able to watch as much, but I'm glad you're here. For anybody else that's on, I know we have 7 to 10 people look like they're on, but definitely want to see who's on so I know who I'm talking to. So I get started in about 30 seconds. Britt, what's up, sis? Britt, that's my homie right there, man. Britt is the homie. Yes, I am drinking a chai tea latte, and I'm gonna talk to you about how I didn't have to drop my expensive habit and how I was able to get results with it today. All right, so let's talk about it. So, a couple of things that I have for you guys today is number one, before I talk about the five things that I avoided, I have to talk about what I did daily. So, the five things I avoided is going to be the meat of it, but the intro of this is the couple of things that I did on a daily basis. So, as I go through this, guys, if you have any questions, this is where you write those questions down in the comment section because as I'm going through this, I will jot down in the comment chat box to see what you're asking and I can address it, but I can't help you personally unless you're bold enough to open up publicly so I can't help you. So, let's get ready to do it. Jay Hop, what's up, Jay Hopkins? All right, daily. So, four things that I did every single day, no matter what. All right, no matter how tough it was, no matter what holiday was coming, it's four things that I did. The number one thing that I did was I was positive. All right, number one, if somebody that's on live that can be like a note taker for me, for those that are getting on later, maybe they catch the last 10 or 15 minutes of this, I want them to be able to catch the first couple of points. Number one, every single day I was positive. So look, our habits as humans, right? Every single day we've been programmed to hear the word no from a very young age. If you think about it, for those that have kids, and if you have a great memory, remember maybe you can remember being a kid or having a little brother or sister or niece or nephew, but you hear no all the time. No this, no, 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 no. And then you get older, no, 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 no. So sometimes mentally, you don't even know that you're telling yourself no to so many things that you really want to achieve. So I really took the perspective in those 90 days, no matter what the circumstance was, I was going to do my best at looking at things half full versus half empty. And if you can't believe in yourself and be positive in what you're doing right now, trust me, this is not going to work for you. So you have to be positive. So, number one, every day I woke up, I was positive. Number two, I tracked my food every day. Every day I track my food. You can next time you see me and you say, "Hey, I want to look at your October. I want to look at your November. I want to look at your December." You'll see every single day I tracked my food, and that was my way of winning. Look, I'm gonna touch on this a little bit more, but for me to achieve something I've never done before, I had to do something that I never did, and that was hard as hell for me to track food. It wasn't literally labor hard, but it was just tedious, and I had to be consistent, and it felt like it took, you know, hours out of my day when it only probably took minutes out my day, right? But number two, I tracked my food daily. Number three, I worked out every day I was supposed to work out. I didn't miss a day. But remember, I wasn't working out 7 days a week. Some weeks I worked out 4 times. Some weeks I worked out five. I only missed one workout on the day I was supposed to, and that was because I had a scooter accident, and yeah, I messed it up pretty bad. But I did work out the next day. I wasn't able to do conditioning, but I was able to lift. And the fourth thing, I drink a lot of water. All right, like every day, I drink a lot of water. So those are my four things that I did daily. By curiosity, give me a thumbs up if that sounds like something you can do. So remember, the meat of everything I'm talking about today is the things that I avoided. All right, but before I go into what I avoided, the meat of what we're talking about, I wanted to quickly tell you a couple of things that I was able to find success in. And those four simple things: I was able to be positive, I was able to track my food, I was able to work out on the days I was supposed to work out. And number four, I drink a lot of water. Notice you'll hear me say that I didn't eat perfect. Notice I didn't say that the workouts had to be 90 minutes a day. Notice I didn't say that every supplement that I need to take, I took every day. Like, I was not perfect, but those were four things I was able to do. And obviously, a lot of you seen the success that I had. All right. So, out of curiosity, I want to see who did what. Thank you, Samaya and Britt, for helping your boy on putting that in. Chelsea, what's up, girl? What's up? She listening on a lunch break. All right, dope. So I'm excited to talk about this portion. All right. So this is the meat. This is what I get really excited about is what I avoided for 90 days. Now, at the very end of this, again, I want questions. I want to see how I can help you personally for those that are watching and listening in. And even for those that are replaying this, if you DM me on Instagram, I definitely will give you feedback. But number one thing that I avoided, guys, all right, when I hesitate a little bit, Britt, right before I say something, is because I really want everybody to like what I say and what I produce. And the truth is, I know that's not gonna always be the point. So when I hesitate and I seem a little timid at moments, it's because I love all y'all and I want you guys to buy in, but I understand it's not for everybody. So number one, all right, write this one down. I did not tell everybody what I was doing. Number one, write that thing down in your notebook, put that in your smartphone. I did not write, or excuse me, I did not tell everybody, hey, I'm doing 90 days. I'm going to zone in. I'm tapping into what I want to achieve. And I put it on Instagram. And then I put a picture up of me working out. And I put a yes or no. Do you think I'm going to do it? Then I went to Facebook. And then I put a thing up. Like, I didn't do none of that. When I did and decided to do my 90 days for me, I did it for me. That's it. I didn't, nobody else. Nobody, nope. So, one thing I avoided, I didn't tell everybody what I was doing. There were selected people I told. I told Jared Garcia. He was helping me with some workouts and mentality. I told Milton. He was helping me with the nutrition portion of it, of what we're doing now. My wife, obviously, and it's important for me to tell you why Tina needed to know and why it was also important for my father to know. So Tina cooks, right? So when I come home, if I didn't let her know what I was doing and I just passed up the pasta dish or I didn't explain why, it would have created some tension in the household. And same thing for my father. His love language is to cook. So when I go over there on Sundays, if he cooks and I'm passing that dish up, he's gonna think something's wrong. So I did tell a couple people. But you notice from who's on here, Samaya to Britt to J Hop, I didn't let y'all. I don't know if y'all even knew. Somebody may have heard me talking in between cracks of class, but it wasn't a big alarm. And the reason why I'm telling you guys this is because everybody's not gonna like and love and support what you do. Just it, if I can be as real as I can possibly be, everybody's not gonna like, love, and support what you do. So why are you letting everybody be a part of what you're journeying into? Now, they can like your button after you get that before and after picture when you fit in that dress or you put on the suit that you want to wear. Let them like and comment then. But their opinion of what you're doing now doesn't matter. To be honest, it didn't matter. And everybody knows how cool I am with everybody. But my closest friend, Carl Barrett, Carl didn't need to know that I was doing a 90-day transformation on my body. It doesn't, right? My boy Taco, he as close as we are, I didn't call him and hey bro, I'm about to start working on my body. I'm about to start eating right. Look, it didn't matter. What mattered was me being tapped in and me being bought in. And the reason why I'm saying that to you guys is because sometimes we get discouraged when other people don't support what you're doing. And what I mean by support, they don't even know that they're not supporting. But if somebody keep calling you to go to happy hour, and then when you get to happy hour, you happen to share what you're doing, and they're like, oh, it ain't really a big deal. You know, this amount of tequila, really, you can drink a sweet tea or a chai tea latte, and it's more sugar in that than it is in this tequila. Like, sometimes their love of wanting to see you have a good time is it's not that they're not supporting you, trying to. It's just more they just want to have fun with their friend, which is cool. But we got goals to get in 2023. So for me to you guys, man, again, as I said before, I'm not saying this is for everybody, but what I personally did, I didn't tell everybody what I was doing. So I recommend that as you're journeying through this, you'll have your selected friends. And it's cool because a lot of you guys do boot camp together or the gym together. Um, you'll notice that you'll tell more people that's driven to do what you're doing versus the people that are not driven to do what you're doing. So just be really selective on who you're telling. Social media, you don't need to post a picture a day to show somebody what you're doing. And look, no, we ain't doing it for impressions. We're not doing it for like buttons and comments. We're doing it for you. Now, if you want to track it, make a vlog like I did. Do a whole bunch of videos and then look at it after your 90 days or 120 days, whatever amount of days you're going to be doing this. But number one, man, I definitely avoided not telling everybody. All right. Number two, second thing I avoided for me was alcohol and pasta. All right. Alcohol. For me, I'm not a daily drinker. I don't drink beer every day. I get home and just watch TV. That's not my thing. But if I go out to eat or it's a social gathering like a football game or I go watch the Rockets or Texans, I will have a drink. For those 90 days, I avoided it. That was it. Now, when I say I avoided it, I was around it, but I avoided it. I think sometimes we have to process the reality of life. There's going to be temptation. And I'm not really a cussing person, but this is hard. Let me be honest and say it again. This can be really, really hard. It's hard when you go to your homecoming and everybody's having a good time by drinking alcohol and you're the only sober one. Man, that can be really, really hard, right? Or maybe you're going to a ball game and everybody's getting shots because they're excited that their team won. Or better yet, in my realm was when the Astros won a championship. Like that is hard. But at the end of the day, I'm never gonna look back the day that the Astros won and say, man, I had a tequila shot. I'm gonna look back and say, man, I had time with my family and friends and I enjoyed celebrating them with that. So for me and for you, we gotta really look at the things that we want to avoid. But that don't mean you can't be around it. Now, to an extent, some of us have to make that decision where if you feel like you're too weak to be around, I don't know, chips and queso, like then stay away from it. But at some point, if you really want to find success and win, you're gonna have to be brave enough and strong enough to be around and still have discipline. And the reason why I'm saying that, I'm not the guy that's gonna pat you on the back and say, "Baby, it's okay. You had that chip and salsa." No, if you had the chip and salsa, that's gonna hurt you a little bit. Just to be honest. However, if you can start getting to a point where you're able to be around and still have discipline, you're going to win in more than just your body. You're going to win in other areas of your life because there's always going to be something around you, baby boy, baby girl, that's going to be temptation. But you got to have discipline if you really want to win. So for me, it was alcohol and pasta at night. alcohol and pasta. I don't know what your weakness is, and if anybody's open to doing it, what's your weaknesses? What's your weaknesses with for the next 90 days or 120 days? What do you think is going to be something that's challenging for you? For me, it was pasta. My favorite dish is from Grand Lux. It's shrimp scampi with added chicken. Oh, that's like my favorite meal in the world. But me eating that at 9, 10, 11 o'clock at night is just not acceptable for what I wanted to produce, right? Same thing I told you about alcohol. So those things wasn't in the best, it wasn't the best thing for me at that moment. So I'm curious what you guys have challenges with. I'm curious what you guys need to avoid and be disciplined with. And whoever comments below, I will definitely kind of just give you some little insight, some little tricks potentially if anybody's open to it. So, Britt, my problem is the end of the week. I want to eat comfort food and snacks and relax. So let's stop right there, okay? By a number of thumb up emojis, who's with Brit? Like you find comfort in food, you find comfort in drinks. It makes you feel like you need to relax and chill. Um, to everybody, not just Brit, because I deal with that. It's actually later on in one of my points. I'll wait to explain that later. But what I will tell you and everybody else that deal with that, there can be a replacement for that, right? So for me, man, I don't want to leave the camera, but I am. Hold on one second. All right, I'm back. So this, I don't even know the name. Waterloo. Waterloo is sparkling water. All right. So this was what I call a replacement. All right. So when I would go out or have company, I like to host at my crib. So, we have the bar, people come over, you ask them what they want, and you give them their beverage. And typically people want some type of alcohol to chill and relax. So for me specifically, I wouldn't drink that, but I'll pull these out for me. And it's let me turn that down. It's it tastes decent, right? It's not what probably Crown and Coke tastes like to others, but for me, it gave me that feel like, man, it's something to sip on, and it wasn't bad. So that was my replacement, right? The question that I have for you, Britt, and everybody else, what replacements can we do for the things that really challenge us? All right. I think I see somebody say chips. T said chips and salsa, cookies and cake. Tony, what's up? Chips, tacos, and chocolate chips. So I see a lot of people deal with chips, bread and chips. So there's all these things that we need to find replacements with. Um, and then logging your food helps with this as well. So let me see. Should I skip forward? One second. Yeah. So point two was avoid for me, avoid alcohol and pasta. Number three, I'm gonna merge them so you can kind of get some more insight. Late night snacks, breaded snacks to be exact. So Tina buys these muffins, these little muffins for the boys for lunch, and I wake up at 2, 3 in the morning randomly sometimes, and I just go eat them, to be honest. But again, a replacement. Going to that one, a replacement for me is not that I needed bread or I just love those little mini bites. It wasn't that necessarily. It was just in the middle of the night. I kind of wanted something sweet. So if I put some grapes in the refrigerator, that's a great replacement for me. So what can be a great replacement for you guys is the question. For those that are on, let's see who helps somebody. What do you do for your mini cheat codes to be a replacement for XYZ? So chips was a popular one. What can be a replacement for chips? What's funny, whoever said chips salsa, I love chips and salsa. I think I mentioned last episode that I'm real big on Lupe. That is my restaurant. So the importance of logging your food, you actually know what you can put in your body. So I would sit down. I think the first couple of weeks, I literally go to Lupe at least probably once a week. So we'll sit down. They put the chips in front of me. They got all the salsas, and they just look so good, right? And I know how it can taste potentially. And then, yeah, the chips are just crispy, like all that sweet stuff, right? And because I was logging my food, I knew what I was putting in my body. So I think like the third or fourth time we went to Lupe, I actually looked up what the chips would do to my body. And I noticed that I actually could put them in my diet for that day. Think about it. It said, I forgot the exact number, but it was like I got up to 30 chips, right? And if you think about it, we probably eat a lot of chips when we do sit down, but in that moment, 30 chips was more than enough. Because I was like that thing. I was like, oh man, if I can just get one chip, man, I'm good. Right? So when I was able to get 30 of them things with some bean dip, I was straight. So again, it kind of goes back to logging so you know what you're putting in your body. Because at the end of the day, I did need some carbohydrates, right? So I was able to utilize that, and it wasn't that much. So again, guys, going into point two, which was I avoided pasta and alcohol. What are those replacements are going to be at the end of the day? And then number three, um, I avoided late night snacks. How did I avoid late night snacks? I'm gonna wake up probably between 2 to 4 o'clock in the morning. It's just what I do, and I go right back to sleep. But going to the refrigerator, I was gonna go there too. So how could I make my experience a little bit better? Number one, grapes. That was an easy transition for me. Number two, there were times I went to My Fit Food, and if I had like a kind of like a texture feel, like I wanted something like chocolates y, they have these peanut butter balls that I would get. So again, I can put a peanut butter balls in the refrigerator. If I wake up in the middle of the night, cool, I have a peanut butter ball, whatever it's called. But those were our replacements. So I wonder if anybody wrote anything down. Fruit is the earthly candy. I like that. Bobby, what up? Uh, Dates for sweets. T said my problem. I don't cook. I can't cook. Can't find time, and I get burnt out on pre-made. I'm gonna come to that at the end. T, stick with me. Hey, Raven. All right, perfect. So number three, guys. Again, for me, I avoided those late night creeps. All right, so not the one y'all thinking about, but I'm talking about food. Number four, I avoided I avoided late nights. Hmm, what does that mean? I avoided late nights. All right, so some of you guys follow me on IG. Sometimes I just be up. I'll be up 1, 2, 3 in the morning, and then the boys got to get up, and I'm taking them to school somewhere around 7ish. So sleeping 4 hours a night or 5 hours is just not gonna cut it for me to get the results that I want. All right, and to break down the philosophy of that is your body can't recover if you don't allow it to rest. Most people, when they rest, not only their body, but if they're dealing with any sickness, the most of the time, the best time for anybody, for the anatomy of your body to recover is when you get to a deep sleep. So I don't care how productive we want to be in our life when it comes to our career and everything else we want to be a part of. With your body, though, you're going to have to allow it to rest. For 90 days, I really, really dialed in and focused in on no late nights. For late nights, for me, again, I still run the brand, right? But at the end of the day, I need to have my butt in the bed by midnight. If I went to sleep by midnight and I got up about, or even if I say I went to sleep at 1 in the morning at the latest, I'm still going to at least get 6 hours to 8 hours. My goal was to hit that every single night. And the reason why is because if I was sluggish, how productive am I going to be, not just as a person, but in my workouts? Because I'm not working out, remember, 90 minutes or two a days. So when I do work out, I need to be able to make it as effective as possible. But if I'm sluggish because I'm not taking my butt to bed, I can't get the success that I truly desire. Number two, I don't care how much BCAAs you drink or pure greens. If you don't allow your body to rest and recover, your muscles are not going to grow. So you want to increase in muscle and lose body fat, but there's times that you lose body fat and lose muscle just because your body's not allowed to rest. So point number four, the thing that I avoided was late nights. My fifth one, and then I'm gonna go over all the questions that you guys may have so I can help you. The fifth one, I avoided excuses. Yeah, this just it is what it is. I just avoided excuses. Telling myself that it's more important for me to have hundreds of people to be prepped and ready to work out the next day just wasn't a good enough excuse no more. It wasn't. Saying that I have a wife and twin boys, it and how I needed to be there for them at the moments I need to be there. It just wasn't a good enough excuse no more. Telling myself that I helped my father run his church is just not a good enough excuse. Saying that I wanted to do things and travel myself, it's just at the end of the day, man, all those things are excuses. And at the, I'm not telling you that what has challenged you is not valid. Nowhere in the world I'm that guy that's gonna say that. But for me specifically, for those 90 days, I just didn't allow excuses to take place. I fell off a scooter. I bent my whole thumbnail back, split everything open. I could have easily took 3 to 4 weeks off. And then I could have said, man, since I'm not working out, man, I'm not going to eat that clean. No, that would have been an excuse. And at the end of the day, I'm not sure who has what, but you got to really look at your challenge and see is it more powerful than what you truly want to conquer. So for me, I didn't want my midsection looking like that. So I could not use the excuse of being a brand leader to be the reason why I won't move forward in my physical goals or my health. Same thing as being a father and a husband and being a ministry leader. Like none of that was going to be an excuse why I was not going to move forward. Looking back now in my last 90 days, everything I just said, I still was able to affect at a high level. I effectively ran a brand. I effectively hosted a competition. I effectively was a husband. I effectively was a father. Same thing. I was a great brother. I believe I was a great uncle during the holiday season. I was able to do so many great things that I thought I was not going to be able to do because I was going to take this, take the meat, leave the bone. I thought taking 45 minutes to an hour a day to work out was going to be a thing that's going to distract me to do everything I just said. Taking a total of 10 minutes in my day to log my food, I thought that was going to detour me from everything else. So think of that, man. How many minutes are in a day? How many hours are in a day in a week? We can take time out. And the truth is, it's probably not going to affect what you are currently doing. So for those that are in a career or in a relationship, it's not going to affect it. All right. We just can't use those as excuses no more because at the end of the day, those are crutches. All right. I want to go over some questions. This is the time where I get to kind of see who's doing what and how I can help. All right. Again, I don't have all the answers, but I can definitely give you my experience and my heart at the end of the day. So I'm gonna go back up to T. T, you said my problem. I don't cook, cook, can't find time, and I get burnt out on pre-made meal preps. T, I can identify with you, T. This thing behind me called the stove, I don't do it. I just don't do it. That oven over there, yeah, I ain't doing that either. And that, what's that, the crock pot or where you steam it, whatever that thing is. I don't even know the name of it. I'm not doing that either. All right. And truth be told, Tina, my wife, is not the biggest cooker either. Like she'll dibble a little bit just because she knows she need to cook for her boys, but that ain't her thing. So at the end of the day, T, you're just like me. I'm probably worse. All right. But this is what I did. And I'm not saying this is the best way, but this is just what worked for Chris for 90 days. In 90 days, T, I personally probably cooked 5 times or less. In 90 days. Now, y'all seen the before and after picture. In 90 days, I probably cooked 5 times or less. And out of those 5 times, kind of Milton kind of really cooked it, or Tina kind of really cooked it. I was just there, learning. Let's say that. So majority of the time I cooked, somebody either cooked for me or I bought prep meals. The times that people cooked for me, my wife or my father, when I go over there on Sundays, there were times where I didn't eat what they cooked and I had to make adjustments. And what I mean by that, I told Tina once, like, I'm not doing pasta. But pasta for 2 growing little boys and me, you make some spaghetti real quick and then that's going to last 2 to 3 days. But there were times I did not eat that even though she cooked it and I had to make adjustments. But right there, it's going to have to go into that discipline mindset. Even though it's easy, that don't mean that it's the route that we need to take. And for me personally, T, it really put me in perspective why I potentially need to make time to cook, but I, like you, don't always have time to cook, which only leaves us one option is what? Meal prep. That was the only option I had. If I truly wanted to win, if I truly if I truly feel and know that I don't have time, if I'm not cooking and I can't always depend on other people to cook for me, there's only other one option for me to do for me to get success. And that was to buy meal prep meals. But remember that part in the sentence where you say sometimes you get burnt out? Can the church say amen? Whoever does meal prep, sometimes even though it tastes good, after weeks of doing it, they all kind of taste the same. So shout out to my big bro Milton. He taught me a tool or gave me some advice on how to spice things up. And this was the game changer. So two things that I did, T, and hopefully this gives you momentum. Number one, I bought different meal prep at different times. So My Fit Foods is one. HEB has prep meals. Whole Food has prep meals, and it's another one off San Felipe. I cannot think of their name. Muscle Maker. Those are the four different spots that I will go to get meal prep. Now check this out. What if I went to My Fit Foods on week one, and then week two I go to Muscle Maker, and then week three I go to Whole Foods, and week four I went to HEB. For me, it was a psychological trick that I can't get burnt out on eating the same company meal prep because I was switching up the different companies. So that was number one. That was super dope for me. Number two, I'm not gonna say who, but I get a decent discount right at one of them, and it just financially it makes more sense for me to go there. So I want to go there more frequently, but sometimes I do get burnt out. Step number two, let me see if I can reach for the fridge without turning off the mic or camera. I'm gonna grab a couple things that are right here in the refrigerator. Here's one, and where's the other thing that I used a lot? Boom, two. So these were my game changers, T. Again, I'm no cook by any means, but boom. Yep, these two things really changed the game for me. Jalapenos and banana peppers. The reason why, say I got turkey, say I got some ground turkey with rice with asparagus on one of my meal preps. What I would do is get jalapeno peppers in it. This is what Milton told me. Put some jalapeno peppers in it, and it gives it a different kick to it, and it tastes freaking good to me, right? And then say the street tacos that My Fit Foods serve. I get the street tacos, and then I'll put some pico in it. Like, I will put things in it to give it a little spice without putting nutrients in there that I don't necessarily need. So again, that worked for me. And then lastly, I kind of hear the Jared Garcia in my head. Sometimes I had to tell myself I wasn't eating for taste, I was eating for success. Between all of that, T, I hope that you can grab some of that and use something, and it gives you momentum to continue to do what you're doing because you're doing a great job. You just continue to stay consistent. Good stuff, T. Another question I see or have, Raven, dates and other fruits is now added to the grocery list. Got it. Boom. It is important to eat protein after work. Okay, here's a question for J Hop. Is it important to eat protein after a workout? If so, how much? Great question. Great question. Protein, so for me specifically, guys, I have to eat, if I remember correctly, 220 grams of protein a day. Now, I'm doing that because I'm trying to put on even more muscle, right? So for my goals and my macros, that's what I need to eat. Now, as long as I eat that throughout the day, that's great. Perfect, right? So I know sometimes we get caught into when to eat protein, but personally, my goal was just to get protein in the day of 220, right? Now, there are many philosophies, and I'm sure there are scientific studies that shows that it's better for protein to break down in your bodies 30 minutes after your workout because your muscle fiber is broken up, and for them to replenish and to grow back thicker and stronger. If you're taking like a protein powder or you eating meat or whatever, it gets you the source of protein to your muscle groups that need it within the time that you just broke it down. So in a perfect world, I would say, hey man, take that protein shake after your workout. Absolutely. I do agree with that. But at the same time, there were times that there were times that I didn't put the protein in my body, but after finding success of just hitting my macros every day, I still got great results. Now, maybe they could have been a little bit better. Maybe my bicep would have been a little bit better or stronger or thicker. Maybe so. But because I still hit my macros, I was good. And in addition to that, typically after I worked out, I ate because I was hungry anyway. So a lot of times I did my protein shake in the morning and at night. Sometimes I didn't drink protein right after because I was eating protein right after. You will notice, especially at the gym, for those that train with me, um, if I worked out with the 615 class, I would take my supplements right after. But right now, I'm teaching the 615 class. So I can't work out at the five, or excuse me, I can't work out prior to class and then hurry up and start taking a whole bunch of supplements because I'm teaching class. So again, you can get caught up into when's the perfect time, but from what I've studied and what I've witnessed, as long as you hit your macros, you're still going to find great success. However, a lot of philosophers, a lot of people that tested this feel like it breaks down better 30 minutes after your workout. So I agree with that. Cool. Great questions, Jay Hoppy. Tosh, what's up, Tosh? I got to see you at the gym, girl. Come on. I wanted to see you this week. All right. Question. She says, what can I do as a vegan? As a vegan, I definitely go more in depth in what do you mean by being a vegan, but there are times where I would have like vegan days, right? Where I'm like, hey, I'm going to be a vegan this day. I used to do it on Mondays. At the end of the day, you still got to hit macros. There are different sources of protein, carbohydrates, and fats, right? So you may say, hey, I'm not actually eating beef and chicken. There are many sources of protein that you can incorporate that has nothing to do with chicken or meat or fish, right? My friend, Tremont Terry, owns Soul Food Vegan. What's funny about him, uh, everything on the menu might not be the healthiest thing for you, depending on what you order, because he's not selling necessarily, hey, I'm the healthiest vegan spot, but it's a lot better than what you're going to eat at McDonald's and Burger King. But that guy's one of the smartest guys on what to eat, right? Depending on your goals. So again, the vegan nachos is not the best thing on the menu. It freaking tastes great, but it's a lot better than nachos that you're going to eat at Lupe. But there are different sources. What I'm getting to, Tosh, is that you can get the same results, if not even better, quicker because you're not processing a lot of heavy meat. But if there's a documentary I recommend you watch if you haven't watched already, it's on Netflix called crap. Somebody's on, and I know y'all know what it is. What's that documentary on Netflix where he execute and study different athletes and how they were winning, and end up a lot of them was going the vegan route. Uh, Conor McGregor, the defensive line on the Tennessee Titans, game breaker. I can't think of the name of the documentary, but if I can't find it now, I'll look it up after this call and share it with you. But what I'm getting to is you definitely can get a lot of success in it. Jessica, what's up? I love ice cream. I do keto. Uh, yeah, that's perfect. It's just another alternate that you can do to find success. I love it. Tosh, over 50. Energy is just not there. What can I do to start, and where do you use to log into food? So I use an app called Carbon. What I'm gonna do is actually they need to make me an ambassador. The amount of people they probably signed up in the last week coming from us. But I use Carbon. It's a premium app to log your food. It's $10 a month. The thing that it does well is just like MyFitnessPal and every other app. The difference between this one is it does your macros for you based upon your physical level, your height, weight, age, and all that stuff, right? But it makes the adjustments that you need every week based upon the success or the results or the non-success that you get. It's a $10 a month app, but it's the one that I use. But you have MyFitnessPal, you have Lose It. There are a lot of different apps, but I think a lot of people seen what I posted on my IG the other day, and they're intrigued with it. And part one of your question, the every second of every day we get older, right? And the truth is, we have to fuel our body better, definitely as we get older. The energy, the thing that I really do. There's two things that I really believe that really help me, Tosh. Number one was sleep. All right, sleep is such a big component, and I think my wife think I'm a little weird, but hopefully somebody online right now don't think I'm weird because y'all do the same thing. But on Amazon Video or Prime Video, whatever they call it, I will sleep to rain, thunderstorm. It's like it's peaceful for me. So rest is not just falling asleep, but rest and recovery happens in deep sleep. So that was number one. I think if you're not doing it already, try to get some deep sleep and find yourself in a more relaxed manner. A couple of points that I would suggest that I've done. Don't look at your cell phone an hour before you go to sleep. Don't check no emails an hour before you go to sleep. And don't watch TV an hour before you go to sleep. It helps your brain relax a little bit more. Uh, Number two, if you need help with any supplements, the supplement that I take personally is called Pure Greens. With Pure Greens, this is my Pure Greens. Got a lot of people taking it now. Just kind of read some of the things that are in the ingredients. Where is it at? Where is it at? Where is it at? Proatic blend, beet juice, green tea, vegan blend, organic fruit, veggie blend. But yeah, I mean, this is really good for like an immune boost, a natural boost of energy. So sometimes supplements is a good source to help you get more energy. Now, I'm not saying go take, energy drinks and Red Bulls, but if it's natural stuff, typically that goes into our green stuff, I really recommend it. So if you need some pure greens, definitely let me know. Zucchini noodles replacement for pasta. Bobby, you're not lying. So getting that zucchini, breaking it down is definitely a good replenishment. Like zucchini, actually for me, it tastes good. It's not like you swallow, closing your nose, you're trying to just gulp it down. Man, it's really, really good option. What's a better time to eat? Every 2 hours when you're cut for time and stop eating. So whenever your body Tosh, excuse me, whenever your body tells you you're hungry, you're probably behind the schedule of when you should be eating, right? I've noticed in my last 90 days of my transition, I was eating pretty much breakfast around, and for my breakfast, it's hard for me to eat a lot of food in the morning, but my breakfast typically was a protein shake with about 40 grams of protein. I think that was a question earlier I missed. How many grams of protein? It was. I'm so sorry. Hey, protein. I do 2 scoops, which gives me about 40 grams of protein. So I would say anywhere between 35 to 45 grams of protein is typically a good amount of protein to take. I know some people would say, "Hey, girls are eating. Look, 35, 45 grams of protein would be great if you're working out." The days you're not working out, I wouldn't necessarily hit those protein standards per serving. You just want to hit those macros. All right, where am I at? So Tosh, going back to when to eat. I ate I drink my protein shake probably about 7 8 in the morning. Anywhere between that hour, I would eat 2 lunches somewhere around 11 to 1 o'clock, and then probably right before class between 2 to 4 o'clock. After classes, I would eat dinner once I get home, and then I'll probably do another protein shake after. So it looked like it's around like every 2 to 3 hours. The times in my 90 days, even current till today, the times I get in trouble is when my body say, "Bro, I'm hungry." And then I look up and Jared or Erica Davidson know me very well when I say this, "Dog, I ain't ate in 4 or 5 hours." Yeah, your gap was way too long. But rule of thumb is typically every 2 to 3 hours. My green sauce, asks Milton. Oh, I got to try that green sauce. Samaya, here we go, girl. We have my focus now is body recomp, not just losing weight. I'm 20 pounds down, and the goal is to get another 15-ish off. Hey, everybody, give my sis. She be working so hard, y'all. She been so consistent. Give Samaya some love down. Hey, 20 pounds down is a huge accomplishment. But as this whole program names it, it's a different 10 pounds or a different X amount of pounds. So, one thing that I will look at, Samaya, specifically for you, because I have the luxury to train you, you're going to go hard in the gym and you're going to be consistent at the gym, as I've been noticing. The biggest thing that I don't get to see, and you're probably already doing it, is just hit those macros. With protein, with what is it called? With protein, with your carbohydrates, and with your fats, guys, listen to me when I say this because it's going to be really good for somebody. I was not perfect at hitting my macros. All right. Check me out. That 220 or X amount that I need to hit for carbohydrates and fats, there were days where if I needed to hit 220 in protein, there may have been a day where I hit 210, right? Or there may have been a day I went 225 and I got a little bit more than what I should have gotten, all right? But the goal is to get as close as you can every single day, and I still got great results. Y'all got to remember, you may, but I'm not trying to be a physique person on a stage. That's when you're cooking every single thing, every little thing that's going into your body because you're on stage to compete. I'm not here on stage to compete. I'm just trying to look good naked, right? So I just want you guys to know as you are logging your food, don't get down on yourself because you fell short 10 or you went over 10. Guys, if you are consistent at getting as close as you can to that number, it's just like you at the gym. We can say, hey, guys at 95 pounds, ladies at 65. And y'all like, man, I'm not there yet. But if a guy lifts at 85 pounds and a lady lifts at 50 pounds, she's getting stronger and getting consistent as well as him. And the more they do it, the more likely they get closer to that target. And it's the same thing with nutrition. I'm not saying that you got to be perfect. I'm just saying get better. So for Samaya, a person like Samaya, as long as you continue to work out and you continue to log your food, I think the only thing you may be able to incorporate, but I think you're already doing your supplements. The only thing you just have to do is stay disciplined and stay consistent. Think about it. I My last 90 days was great, right? But for anybody that's been noticing me, seeing me train, y'all still seeing me carry that gallon of water around. For those that are really around me a lot, I'm still taking my supplements. For those that really follow me, I'm still working out. I didn't say I was going to do 90 days and I was done. I'm still moving forward. And that's the same thing, Samaya. The success that you've had, just keep moving forward with it, baby girl, and you'll continue to get results. I'm proud of you. Game Changers. That's the name of the documentary. Game Changers, guys. Tosh, check out Game Changers. Edamame nuts, beans, another source of protein. I'm love it. I'm at 126. You got it, hop. Netflix, Green Seed Vegan. Yeah, so Green Seed Vegan is I think they moved to Fifth Ward. I think they moved to Fifth Ward, or is it off of Alameda? But yeah, I go there as well. Sleep, rest, water, and energy. I love it. I don't like sleep with my phone. Yep, you on it. Snap, snap. Wash hands, wash hands. Okay, okay. Jessica, there we go. How do you stay motivated when you feel like you're going? Excuse me, I'm gonna read that part again. How do you stay motivated when you feel like you're doing all the right steps and don't see any changes? This one is such like, man, Jessica, you asked the question that everybody's thinking. Even if people don't want to admit to what it was just said, we all feel that way. Part of it, Jess, to be honest, we're in such a fast paced generation right now. Like, if you think how fast you can get information is ridiculous right now, right? I remember a day where we had these little index cards and you had to go to the library and do little references. And like right now, you can get on TikTok and get the answer to all your problems. You don't know how to fix something, you go to YouTube and you can fix it. So that instant gratification that takes place now is so difficult because we expect that in everything that we do, right? We do 10 sit-ups, we looking down like, is my stomach different? Right? We do a hard workout and we looking in the mirror like, is it changing? And the truth is, I wish I can give you a magic pill or tell you something sweet in your ear to make it feel better, but this is hard, just to be honest, because we're asking people and encouraging people to be disciplined in what they put in their body to fuel it and to be consistent at your workout. But in my 90 days, to be honest, I probably didn't see a difference in my body personally until probably like week 6, 7, or 8. That's crazy, right? I think around week 3 and 4, people start complimenting me. I remember somebody walking in the gym, they're like, "You been lifting?" Or, "Hey, you must have added some cardio in. Chris, your skin look good," right? I start getting compliments about week 3 or 4. 6 to 9 is when I start seeing it, right? Think about how hard that is to do anything you don't see a result until weeks later or months later. That's hard. And that's why this is, to me, in this fitness space, that's why I believe that I love what I do so much because it's so hard to do alone, right? Now, to answer your question, what did I do to stay motivated? Personally, I listen to a lot of personal development. And there are times where I'm listening to whether it's my father or Stephen Vervick or Pastor Todd. Spiritually, I try to grow myself. I listen to podcasts that are suited to movement, of moving forward, reading. Those are things that I do, right, to kind of mentally grow myself. Number 2, I'm such a big person on affirmations. When I take my boys to school, I'm a beast, daddy. I'm fearless. I'm confident. I'm smart. I'm athletic. But they don't get that just because I tell them to do it. They get that because they see me do it. I'm so big, Jess, on affirmations. Even if a lot of you guys haven't been able to do a podcast with us, but when I do get you on a show, you're gonna see right before we press record, Chris, sit up. Chris, your voice is gonna change the world. Chris, speak your words clearly. Chris, uh, you people love what you bring to the table. Like I would say so much where I feel so excited about having the opportunity to get better. I felt that way in my last 90 days. So the days that I was tired, Chris, I'm a beast. I'm curious if anybody have ever seen this. I'm getting too passionate about this question. Jessica, I used to put on my Facebook in the last 90 days. If anybody followed me, they see it. I would tell myself, I will put on my Facebook status, you will not outwork me. Do anybody ever remember seeing that? Thumbs up. I'm curious if anybody seen that. I put on my Facebook, you will not outwork me. You will not outwork me. I will put that over and over just randomly. But for those that follow me closely would notice that those posts were being posted like at 10:30 at night, 11:30 at night, 1 o'clock in the morning. The reason why I was posting that, and I was asked this at an orientation for new trainers, they thought that I was talking to another gym or boot camp or another company. I wasn't. I wasn't talking to, I don't care what my competitors think or say or do. Who I was talking to? I was talking to me. I told myself every night when I didn't feel like working out, I told myself every night when I was tired or fatigued or when I was trying to create an excuse, I told myself you would not outwork me. But the person I was talking to was me from yesterday. So every day I got up, I told myself you would not outwork me. Because yesterday can't outwork me today. And tomorrow I want to outwork what I did today. And because of that, I believe it created a disciplined mentality to just get up and do your best. And because of that, again, I wasn't perfect, but my goal was just to have a mentality. So the answer, a short question with a very long-winded explanation, is it is a lot of mentality. It is a lot of positive affirmation. It is a lot of putting things inside of your mentality, your heart, and your spirit to grow you. Because the truth of the matter is we're like trees. Every day a tree lives, it grows. The day the tree starts dying is the day it stops growing. And that's my philosophy. I want to be around abundant people. That's why I love the gym. Every time I see y'all at the gym and boot camps, y'all hype, y'all pumped, y'all ready to get it. And that fuels me. But if you don't put fuel in you, you can't pour it out you. I can't give what I'm doing right now without putting it in me. So make sure, Jess, you're putting fuel in you so you can pour it out. All right, I'm proud of you. Thanks for asking that. All right, guys, last couple and we're out of here. Or you feel like you don't see any changes. Okay, got you. Got that question. Vanessa, what's up, V? Tips for getting rid of the French fry addiction. French fries. There was an ingredient that tastes like French fries. Crap. Let me find what it is. But typically, like if you go to like McDonald's, it's a lot of salt on it, right? Have you ever ate a French fry without salt? Think about that. So my question for you and everybody else that has an addiction to, not, I don't want to, that's such a, do you use the word addiction? Okay, so you said addiction, so I can say it. So think of the thing that you like. Is it the fry? Is it the ingredient of a fry, or is it the ingredient of the salt on the fry or the oil or whatever they may pour on it? Once we can figure that out, then we make the alteration. Because if you like the French fry without the salt, then we can focus on the ingredients of the French fry and then make its adjustments, right? Because that is just, basically like a carbohydrate, right? And then we can limit the amount of carbohydrate we put in our body. But then you got the salt, right? That's a whole different ball game. So let's figure out the difference between the French fry, and then we can make the alterations. But at the end of the day, the French fry is kind of like the chips for me at Lupe. Know what you're putting in your body. Hit your macros, because you may be able to incorporate that. For me, I ate French fries in my whole 90 days. I'm a hamburger guy. So when I ate hamburgers, I like getting bison burgers because it's a cleaner meat, leaner meat. But instead of French fries, I would get sweet potato fries, which taste, if not just as good, better. So I'm not saying that you can't have it. Now, I'm not saying you should be eating French fries. as an imam, every hour of the hour eat 50 fries. But there's nothing wrong with eating French fries or sweet potato fries. It's just the portion of it and how many times you eat it throughout a day. But yes, in 90 days, even the success that I found, I eat bison burgers all the time. And I also ate turkey burgers all the time. But I also had sweet potatoes and black bean burgers for my vegan people. All right, Tosh, she's coming tonight. I love it. Okay, macros, not calories. Ooh, all right, let's touch on that one. All right, I'm gonna come against a lot of people's religion when I say this, and I'm okay with it. Calories matter. I'm gonna say that as a disclaimer. I wish I had a lower third. Calories matter, right, Samaya? It takes 3,500 more calories to burn than you intake to lose 1 pound. So in 1 week, if you want to lose 1 pound in a week, the goal is to burn 500 more a day, right? If you're intaking 2,000, I mean, if you're burning 2,000 a day and if you intake 2,000 and you burn 2,500, that's a deficit of 500 on Monday. If you do that 7 days a week, you'll lose 1 pound. That's the science, right? For me, I didn't use that in my 90 days. I'm not saying that doesn't work, but to me, this is just Chris Green. All right. This is not the law. Calories don't mean muscle and it doesn't mean fat. Calories are calories. I'm not here to help people lose weight on the scale. I'm here to help people get stronger, lean, and then lose fat. So you can do all the calories you want and you will lose weight. But the question I have is, are you losing fat or are you losing muscle? Because in my end goal, I don't want people losing muscle. I just want them losing fat. But I want them to increase in muscle, right? Shout out to my sis. I'm not going to say it because she didn't give me permission, but I looked at her scan from her 60 day. I think she put on 6 pounds of muscle. No, she lost 6 pounds of fat and put on 5 pounds of muscle. There's a difference in her body now in 11 pounds. So macros, going back to your question, when you hitting those proteins or carbohydrates and fats, doing that with strength and conditioning, you're going to put on muscle and lose fat. Calories, you can just eat and walk and you will see a difference on the scale, but you're probably going to lose muscle. So again, my Chris Way in philosophy is not the law. You will lose a pound if you have a deficit of 3,500, like the law states. However, my question is, do you gain muscle or lose muscle in that scenario? When you hit your macros, if you hit that macro count of what you need to do, and that macro account is according to what needs to be done, you're going to define, you're going to put on muscle, and you're going to also gain endurance. You're going to feel great. Because at the end of the day, if you're not pushing yourself with your body, you can lose weight all you want. You still can be tired when you go to the mailbox. You still can't pick your groceries up without making 50 trips to your car, right? You know how we all do. We put like a 50 bags in our hand. But hitting your macros, that's with you gaining strength. That's with you gaining endurance and looking good as well. So yes, I'm macros all day for my 90 days versus calories. Great question. That is freaking phenomenal. Can you give me can give class on macros and calories? Uh, I thought about it, and I'm moving away from powerlifting. I thought about it, Tosh. I probably would bring a professional in. So the only certification I have is I'm a food. What is it called? I am a nutrition food specialist, but I didn't go to school and get a degree or a master, so I'm not a nutritionist. So I'd rather whenever I bring something to the table, I can do what I'm doing now and give you my experience. You notice a lot of times I keep saying my experience, my philosophy, the way that I do it. But if I hold a workshop in 23, I would bring, I'll book somebody to come out that is a licensed nutritionist so they can give you guys the deets. But absolutely, I would be interested in that. All right, last couple, and then we out of here. T, what's up, baby girl? I want to get to 165. How can I lose the last 10 to 15 pounds and not lose muscle when I've already dropped 40 pounds? I've plateaued and I can't get the scale to move anymore. I want to get to 165, so another 10 to 12. Oh, you just put another question in. So if you hit your macro, okay, so it's two questions then, and let me answer that first one. The last 10 to 15 pounds, that's probably the hardest, right? Because your body's getting adjusted to what was really working. You've been doing your running, you've been lifting the weights, you've been eating right, and you gain success from it, right? Shout out to 40 pounds. That is really hard to do. So congratulations, snaps and claps from everybody. But now it's down to the 10 to 15 pounds. The 10 to 15 pounds is like the six pack. It's like the pull up. I get a lot of people that want to do their first pull up. And it's not that their lats or their core is not strong. It's just the conditioning and the technique of how to do it, right? Same thing with your six pack. It's not that they're not abs there, but man, when you get to a point where you want to see definition, things have to change. To get to your question, T, it's gonna be your kitchen all day, every day. I know we talked about meal prep. I know we talked about not cooking as much, but I don't like to promise a lot of things, and I'm not gonna promise it here. But what I will say, I'm really close to a promise. You execute on a high level, and you really execute and get it done in the kitchen. When you talk about hitting those macros, 10 to 15 pounds will be done. Check this out, guys. As we're finishing this up, I'm throwing a lot at you every Thursday just because I love you, and I hope you guys enjoy this. If T and others like T, including me, just think about this: how difficult it is to log your food and to work out, to be positive, to see everybody else on social media put their highlight tape up in, and you don't even know that's the way they really did it, but you see the success. You see your past victories, you see your past failures. You're processing all of this at one moment. But today and moving forward for 6 months, what if we really just dialed in and how tedious it is and how much it sucks to log our food, how much it sucks to sit in traffic at times, how much it sucks to go work out when you had a bad day, how much it sucks to be around a birthday party and you're turning drinks down. Like all of that plays a role in this. But where will you be 6 months from now if you really dialed in is the question. That was the thing, Jessica, that really excited me at this journey. Again, I started my first day in Mexico on a trip. I was sick and tired of it, Jessica. But moving forward, I was like, nope, it's time to get it. And now I'm so happy that I did it. And the fact of it is, New Year's, Christmas, Thanksgiving, Tina's birthday, Shanna's birthday, Astros winning, homecoming weekend, like all that took place. And I don't miss nothing that I would have done. I remember Melton coming over to help me cook and me getting frustrated on like trying to keep up with my macros. I don't regret none of that now that I'm in the position that I'm in now. The confidence that I have, the self-esteem, the momentum, the positive mindset, the health that I have. I feel so freaking great about what I achieved. I'm not looking back at all the things that kind of made me feel some type of way. So T, that final 10 to 15 pounds, baby girl, we gotta get it done in the kitchen. Just to be like, as much as I love you, we gotta get it done in the kitchen. If we not cooks, we gotta figure out how to cook. If we don't want to figure out how to cook, we gotta meal prep. If we ain't gonna meal prep it, we gotta buy it. If we sick and tired of tasting the same meal prep, we gotta switch up the companies, right? If you do that, T, and hit those macros, 6 months from now, you can be on this same show with me on a Thursday saying, hey guys, I was in your shoes. If I can do it, you can do it. And I believe that for you, T. Good stuff. All right. So if you hit your macros, doesn't matter about the calories. Example, if I hit all the macro goals but only hit 1,200 calories, do I still need to eat more? Great question, T. Freaking great question. T, again, this is what Chris did. This is the way I found my success. I'm not saying it's the way. I didn't care about my calories. I have not looked at my calories. I don't care about my calories. I'm gonna be honest. I'm curious from me being in the game, the amount of time I've been in. I bet my calories wasn't too far off. Let me see. Let me see if it. I use carbon as I was telling you guys earlier. I just want to see if it actually keeps calories. I want to look at yesterday. No, it does have calories. I'm sorry. So yesterday, for example, guys, I'm supposed to I'm supposed to have 3,385 calories intake a day. Okay. Um, I was 500 calories short. I was 12 protein grams away from hitting 220. I was 58 grams away from hitting 345 of carbohydrates. And I was 33 away from 125. So it wasn't the perfect day. If I was to give myself a grade, I would give myself like a B, right? B minus. But the success that I received as I'm looking back, I didn't even look at my calories. I was just focused on my macros. But to answer your question, it looked like macros and the calories are aligned. But I would not go eat more or less because of what your calories say. If you hit your macros, you're going to be good. Trust me. If you hit your macros, you're going to be good. The thing with the macros, guys, you're going to notice is a lot of your meals, especially if you're buying food or processed food, you're going to notice that the fat, you're gonna have to strategically plan out your meals because the fat burns out faster, right? So for me, I got 100. What I have 125 grams of fat that I can utilize. And remember, fat is not bad. It gives you fuel. It's your second source of energy. Your first source is carbohydrate. Your second source is fat. So that's great. You need it, but you only got 125 of it. As I mentioned, I think on the first episode, if I ate a ribeye, that would take a great chunk, right, of my fats. If I ate a dessert, because I did have desserts too in my 90 days, but I had to strategically know that a lot of that was going to take a lot of my fats away. So you'll notice calories, man. Hit those macros, and you'll see. All right, but it looked like as I'm looking at it, that it's not a big drop off. So I would not eat more or eat less because of calories. Hit your macros, and look at it like this. Especially when we roll this out, I know you guys are already starting, but when we roll out the challenge, try it. It may not work, to be honest, but what if it does? How many things have you tried and you're trying now that's not working? Why not focus on macros for the first time and see if that's the thing that really changes? Because it did it for me, and it did it for a lot of others. Great question. All right, Tosh got the app. Cool, Carbon. That's it. All right, guys. I believe that's my time here. That's my hour. Look, man, I hope this brought value to you guys. As you notice, I'm doing this for the members. It's no additional cost. This is for you guys, for me to be able to touch with you personally, because I don't have the luxury to see the 6 a.m.s at both gyms, or the boot camps at 5:30, or the mid-morning classes at all three, the online members, the evening members. But this is my way where I get to connect with you personally. So I'm glad you guys are able to get on live and connect with me. Ms. Lopez, I came in later. I will catch up with the replay. Everything has been on fire. Thank you for sharing knowledge. I'm interested in getting a scan to see where I'm at and track my progress. So yes, Ms. Lopez. So I think I just dropped the InBody scan off at the North Side Gym, but definitely, guys, when you track, it's not it's not telling on yourself. It's getting yourself in a position to get better. And there were times on that Carbon app, you have to put your weigh in every Thursday, and you had to answer the question: did you hit your macros or not? That's the only way we get better. Right, in this generation, especially with little ones, if my little boys, when they play basketball at the YMCA, everybody got a medal. They didn't even keep score, and I had to take them out because that's not a life lesson. That's not how life is. If you lose, you lose. If you win, you win. And I think when you do your weigh-ins and know where you're at, as much as you may not want to see it, it helps you get better for life situations. So get that scan in. I typically take a scan once a month, not every week. I might get on the scale every week just to see where I'm at, but that's going to be another thing that I talk about on the episode. But definitely get your scan so you know where you're at so you can get better. Cool. All right, guys. Love you guys. Hope you found value. Comment down below. Give me a thumb up on YouTube. Comment down below in the section. That always helps us pass out information that we may post out in the future. So if you want to help, thumb up. Comment down on the YouTube underneath the video. Other than that, guys, I love you. Y'all stay blessed. Stay consistent. Stay disciplined. I'll see you soon.